Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about 5 books that I absolutely hated. So some of these are popular, some of these are unknown, some of these I read for school, and some of them are really hyped, and you're probably going to not like me after this, but that is fine because I'm not going to pretend to like these books because they were awful in my opinion. So I just wanted to say this is all my opinion. Obviously I'm not like the superior, like I don't choose which books. That's my dog. I don't choose which books are good, which books are bad. It's just how I found them. I'm going to be talking a bit about them, but this video will be spoiler free. So the first book is quite a hyped book, and you might get a bit mad at me for this, but I could not stand Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This book, above all else, was boring. I didn't care about any of the characters. All of the characters who had potential weren't used. I think Janelle was the only character who I related to in the slightest, and she was barely in this book. Stevie was annoying. This book was had to be some big like this mystery that she would like work hard to solve, and she barely ever cared about that, and the flashback scenes were just boring. I didn't care. I feel like the characters were way too edgy, trying to be unique, this like angsty teen. Like every single one of them were so different, but they were the exact same characters. They didn't want to be like everyone else because they were all edgy and at this elite boarding school. Well, no one cares. This book, as you can tell, I am being really unfiltered in this. This book I didn't care about at all. The plot twist at the end, I was like, oh, okay, can I finish the book now? I just did not like it. I did not care about the characters in the slightest. When something bad happens, just like, oh, good, now one of them's dead. That's one less I have to worry about. Because this, I really hated it. And I was looking forward to this book. I was hyped for it. I wanted to read it so bad. I heard so many wonderful things about it. Did not like it at all. It was awful. So many people love this book, but I was not one of them. My experience with this book was completely different to so many other people, and I'm so upset about that because I love true crime. Like, I love true crime documentaries, BuzzFeed Unsolved. I love books that talk about, like, murder mysteries, especially ones that are historic. I feel like a book series that does this well is Stalking Jack the Ripper, because it promised that it's going to be a mystery. That's what the focus of the book is going to be, and it delivers. While it is heavy on the romance, it does not take away from the actual story, whereas this is all about her making friends, and like I don't really care, to be honest. Like, if they were likable characters, if I connected with them, if they were funny, if they were witty, I would like them, but they were just annoying. Hello, it's me in the future. I would just like to add more because, again, did not like this book. Have you ever seen the TikTok meme where it's like, I'm not like other girls, I listen to Halsey and wear high-waisted jeans? You know that one? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Every single character, except for Janelle, that like described them perfectly. They were all just, it just annoyed me so much because it just reminded me of those people who try so hard to be unique, but they're not. And it just set me off. Like, that bloody, what was her name? Allie? I could not stand her. She was so annoying. She was just trying to be quirky. I don't know why people like this book. And don't even get me started on this, I forgot her name, Allie or something. She was so annoying, just trying to be different than everyone else. Like, who names anything Ruta? That is like literal, just the name Ruta. Like, if your name is Ruta, I'm so sorry, but listen, no. She just annoyed me so much. I couldn't stand her. I couldn't stand Stevie. I think Janelle, Nate, someone else, and then bloody David, didn't like him either. And then like, the romance in this book was so bad. Like, I did not ship them at all. I could not care less about them. It was just boring. And yeah, so was not a fan of this. I am sorry if you are, but you know what? My favorite book series is The Dark Artificers. Go after being a Shadowhunters fan. Actually don't, because that series is amazing. Don't try to make me feel bad for that. But yeah, so was not a fan of this one. So the next book is quite new and it is extremely popular. People are talking about how much they love it. And that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Kemmerer or something. I don't really care, to be honest. So when you promise a Beauty and the Beast retelling which features a character with underrepresented illness, then I am excited for that book. I want to read it. I want to love it. And this book was so disappointing. While I feel like the main character was judgmental and boring, her personality was discounted for her illness. If you don't know, the main character has cerebral palsy, which I think is such a great thing to put into a fantasy book, especially since that's not something that I read about a lot because I don't really find books with that in it. So I was so excited to love her. She was just boring. And then the love interest, I hated him. He was so annoying, so judgmental. I fully expected the spoiler warning for A Court of Mist and Fury in 3, 2, 1 to end up like A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is an amazing Beauty and the Beast retelling where she does not end up with the Beast. Spoilers over. That's Gossip Girl in the background. Enjoy! And it wasn't. This book was awful. Did not love it at all. I was so ready to love it. It had such great representation and it just disappointed me completely. And I know so many people are raving about how much they love this book, but I just can't understand why people do. It was boring. Like, this one scene that stuck out to me was when Harper, who was the main character, says to Ren that she'd give all like free food to these people, and he goes, yeah, but then more people would keep coming, and then they got into the thing. I don't know why, but that scene annoyed me so much. You can't agree on anything. You have completely different morals. She obviously doesn't know how to run a kingdom. Neither does he. He just does like nothing. And then you expect me to want them to be together? No. This next book is quite popular, and that is The Fifth Wave by Wave-Rick Yancy. So I was so excited to read this book because this is when I first started watching BookTube. It was like the third book I ever bought because of BookTube. And what happened was the first ever like bookstore had opened near me, and I was beyond excited to go and buy a book. So I went and I bought The Fifth Wave, and I was so excited. I heard so many wonderful things about it, and I ended up hating it. The narration style was overly complicated. It just gave no indication when the point of views are being switched, when the timelines are being switched. I didn't work out this had a second point of view until like the last 100 pages of the book. And yes, I did read this when I was pretty young. It was just awful, and the plot twist at the end was so predictable. Like, I don't see how other people enjoyed this series, and obviously this book is one of the books that have turned me away from sci-fi because I just did not like this at all. I feel like it's overdone, and Cassie was just not a very good protagonist, so I really did not like this book at all. Like, you never hear me talking about it. I always forget that I own it, but I own it and I've read it, and I never read the rest of the series because I did not like it. So the next series is actually quite a popular one, and you're probably going to attack me for this, but that is the Mortal Instruments by... I'm kidding, no way. This is like one of my favorite series of all time. I just thought it'd be funny, but this book is precious. Read it, please. Thank you. So this next book is kind of like a joke to me now, but that is Surviving High School by Lele Pons and Melissa de la Cruz. First of all, I used to be a Lele Pons fan back when this book came out. Don't ask me why, she is not funny at all. But I decided to read her book, and it was awful. First of all, you can obviously tell that she didn't write it. She just slapped her name on it and then like tried to make like... Also, it was really confusing. It was like... It was a biography, but also not. So it talked about it being a binary. The main character was Lele, but she said it was also fictitious, which was just stupid. So there is a part in this book where she wants to be popular. So she goes to her orthodontist and tells him to take her braces off. That's not how orthodontistry works. I had braces for almost 2 years until like January of this year, and I can just go take my braces off because that's not how it works. I would still have a gap between my teeth. I would still have all of these turned in, okay? You can't just tell someone to take your braces off. That's not how it works. It's not your choice. That just sets me off thinking about it now, because if I could have said to someone, just take my braces off like a month in and they would have been perfect, then I would have. You can't do that. So that just really set me off. I really don't like Lele Pons. She is just not funny, and the whole way that she tried to be, oh, I'm so quirky and relatable, like, look at me, I'm on the floor, oh, how funny, look at me, my hair's in my face. You're not funny, stop trying. Yeah, me and the rest of the world, not a fan of Lele Pons. Also, Melissa de la Cruz, I feel like she needs to write her own books, because I feel like she's always just getting slapped with co-writing or like writing about another thing. Like, did you keep the Descendants book, the Hamilton books? Like, do your own story. I'll read it, please. Just stop working with Lele Pons. That must be a nightmare. So the final book I'm going to be talking about, I don't own a copy because I got rid of that as soon as I can, and that is Don't Call Me Ishmael by Michael Gerard something. I don't really care, this guy. Oh my god, this is the worst book that I have ever read. I read it for school and it is god-awful. First of all, the main character is the whiniest little... You know when people say that, oh, you've got a punchable face? He's got a punchable personality. All he does is play the victim. He talks about how him being alive influences the actions of everyone else. He is so self-centered and annoying. And he goes on about, I'm so relatable because I hate myself. What? No one cares. Also, this book, it had 4 female characters who have names. His crush, his sister, his mum, and his teacher. All of them were annoying. The teacher was supposed to be like, oh, I'm so cool, but no, you're not. No one likes you. The sister was this pretentious Hermione Granger, Annabeth Chase, like hybrid thrown in with a bunch of like, oh, I'm better than you, and just made awful. Like, she was just the worst. The mum had no personality, and the crush was such a pushover. This book is so annoying, and I literally wanted everything to just not work out for Ishmael as punishment for his actions, but no, of course it all worked out. He ended up getting the girl and winning a bunch of stuff, and no one cares. So as I said before, I read this book for school, and my question that I had to write an essay on was, how does this book use humour to develop the characters? Now here's the thing. I don't find this book funny at all. It was the most childish humour. It was stupid. How am I supposed to talk about how this book is funny? Listen, if you want to read Don't Call Me Ishmael, that is great, but I don't think that anyone with a good taste in books can enjoy this book. I'm not trying to be superior, but that book was god-awful. So yeah, this was a really negative video, but I feel like a bit of negativity every now and then is healthy, and now that I've got this out of the way, I can continue to talk about my favourite series, which aren't awful. So yeah, that is all I have for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching me rant about these awful books today, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!